What if one moment of anger could destroy everything you love, your family, your kingdom, your happiness, forever? Today, I want to tell you a story about a king, a very powerful king, a king who had everything, but in just one angry moment, he lost it all. Once upon a time, in a beautiful kingdom called Sunhaven, there lived a king named King Aldor. King Aldor was tall and strong. His crown was made of pure gold. His palace had tall white towers that touched the clouds. The people of Sunhaven loved their king. He was brave, he was smart, he always protected his people. But King Aldor had one big problem, one dangerous weakness. When he got angry, he could not stop himself. King Aldor had a loyal advisor, an old wise man named Biren. Biren had served the king for 30 years. He loved the king like a son. Every day, Biren would come to the king with the truth, even when the truth was hard to hear. And every day, the king's anger would rise like fire. "Biren, you always bring me bad news," the king shouted. "Why can you not just tell me what I want to hear?" "My king," Biren replied calmly, "a true friend tells you the truth. A false friend only tells you what sounds sweet." But the king would not listen. His face would turn red. His fists would shake. He wanted only agreement. He wanted only praise. One dark winter morning, a neighboring kingdom threatened to attack Sunhaven. Biren rushed to the king with urgent news. "My king, the army of King Theron is gathering at the north border," Biren warned. "We must act with wisdom. Let us send a message of peace first. Let us talk before we fight." King Aldor's eyes burned with fury. He slammed his fist on the throne. "Peace! I am no coward. I will show them who is powerful. Attack now. Burn their villages before they reach ours." Biren stepped forward slowly. "My king, please wait. Their army is 3 times our size. If we attack in anger, we will lose everything. Please, just one day, think with patience, not with rage." But the king's anger had already taken control. It was like a wildfire inside him. He could not hear the wise words anymore. He could only feel the burning heat of his pride. "You are a coward, Biren," the king roared. "Get out of my sight. You are banished from this kingdom forever." The old man stood silently, his eyes filled with tears, not from fear, but from deep sadness. He looked at the king one last time and spoke softly. "I pray, my king, that God gives you wisdom before it is too late." Then he turned and walked away slowly, leaving the palace forever. King Aldor immediately sent his soldiers to attack, but Biren had spoken the truth. The enemy army was enormous. Within 3 days, Sunhaven's army was crushed. The palace was surrounded. The beautiful white towers burned in flames. The people cried and ran in fear. The king sat alone in the ruined throne room. Smoke filled the air. His golden crown, the symbol of his pride, lay broken on the cold floor. Then he noticed something. On the dusty ground lay a small folded note. It was from Biren. With shaking hands, the king picked it up and read the words. "My dear king, I do not write this in anger. I write this with love. Anger is a fire that burns the one who carries it first. A king who cannot control himself cannot control a kingdom. I will always pray for you. With love, Biren." As the king finished reading, tears filled his eyes. For the first time in many years, the proud king cried. He cried for the soldiers who had died. He cried for the people who had lost their homes, and he cried for Biren, the one honest friend he had thrown away in a moment of blind rage. At that moment, King Aldor did something no proud king had ever done before. He left the ruins of his palace, without his crown, without royal clothes, without guards. He walked alone to find Biren. For 2 days he walked through forests and cold winds. Finally, he found the old man living quietly in a small village. The king walked toward him and fell to his knees. "Biren, I am so sorry," the king said with a trembling voice. "You were right. My anger destroyed everything, my kingdom, my people, and our friendship. Can you ever forgive a foolish king?" Biren looked down at the broken man kneeling before him. He no longer saw a king. He saw a human being who had finally learned a painful lesson. "My king," Biren said gently, "I forgave you the moment you raised your voice at me, because I knew something you did not know." The king slowly looked up. "Your anger was your prison, and a man in prison cannot see clearly. But today, I see that you have finally walked free." The two men embraced and wept together. With Biren's guidance, King Aldor slowly rebuilt his kingdom. But this time, things were different. He ruled with patience. He ruled with wisdom. He ruled with humility. He built something stronger than golden towers. He built a kingdom of trust, a place where people felt safe, heard, and respected. King Aldor lived many more years, and every morning before making any decision, he would close his eyes, take a deep breath, and remember Biren's words. "Anger is a fire, and fire does not choose what it burns." And from that day forward, he never allowed that fire to control him again. My dear friends, anger is not strength. Anger is the enemy of wisdom. When we act in anger, we make our worst decisions. We hurt the people who care about us the most. We destroy things that took years to build in just one moment. The strongest person is not the one who shouts the loudest. The strongest person is the one who can stay calm when everything is trying to make them angry. Control your anger before your anger controls you. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like so more people can hear it. And in the comments, tell me something honestly. Has anger ever made you do something you later regretted? Share your thoughts. You are not alone. And if you are new here, subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss another story that might change your life. Until next time, stay calm, stay kind, and remember, your response to life is always your choice.